Okay, good, Dr. Angela, you can go.
Good morning, good morning, good morning. Wake up, everybody. I am Dr. Angela Clack. I am a licensed psychotherapist. I am a relational trauma expert, and I'm excited to be with you this morning. I hear in this community, there's a lot of engagement really early in the morning. So I'm looking forward to bringing you lots of great content. I'm looking forward to engaging with you, and I'm looking forward to hearing more in terms of what you walk away from this meeting with. So I have a 30-minute presentation, but it's probably a wealth of knowledge. So I'm going to pack a lot in. I'm going to leave you wanting more, but it's okay, because I just want you to walk away with new information, new revelations, and new insights. So good morning, good morning, good morning.
Great morning, everyone.
Good morning.
Good morning, Dr. Angela. How you doing this morning?
Good morning, Adam. How are you? And thank you. I'm well.
Every day's a good day.
Yes, it is. Thank you. Amen. Amen. And I see good morning, Tamika, Miss Atorius Renee, Andrea. Good morning. Good morning.
Good morning.
Great morning and grand rising.
Good morning, Tanine. Ambola, and apologies in advance, Marilyn.
Good morning, good morning, good morning.
Marie, Alana, Zykia, please forgive me if I'm saying anything wrong. Gina, good morning. If I've missed anyone, good morning. And welcome into the room this morning. I'm so excited to be here. Thank you for the invitation, the honor to share this space and to allow me to hold space for you. Good morning.
Wake up, everybody. It's time to get up. Wake up, everybody. It's time to get up. Stay woke, stay woke, stay woke. It's time to get up. Stay woke, stay woke, stay woke. It's time to get up. We're healing, we're dealing, we're growing. Together, together, releasing. We're teaching, we're moving. Together, together, we're learning, discerning. We're striving. Together, together, we're leading, connecting, transforming. Together, together.
I just realized I was on mute. Good morning again. Good morning, everybody. So good morning to those who came on after I said my initial good morning, and I thank you for having me, for the invitation to come. I want to say thank you to my sister Shawnee for the invitation to sit before her community, and that she trusts me to be in the space to take care of you and to give you what you need today. So thank you so much. So my topic today is overcoming the spirit of comparison and competition. Does imposter syndrome really exist for the Black woman? So let me say this topic probably could go on for a half-a-day workshop, if not a whole day workshop. And so what I did is just give you a small bite size in 30 minutes and less than that of what I really want you to walk away with from today. Many people have had this conversation. Imposter syndrome is a big thing in terms of conversations in spaces and places where there are women of color and Black women. And I have over time just taken a different view of it. And so I would love to hear if you say, oh, Dr. Clack, yeah, I agree. I never thought about that. Or nope, this is how I see it. I see where you're going with this, but I kind of want to see it this way. I'm good with all that, because really what I'm looking to do is to refine my narrative and refine where I want Black women to sit in this space of not claiming the imposter syndrome. So stay with me as we go into this space. So I'm going to start with a video, and I'm going to stop it at about 5 minutes in, and Tiffany, I'll tell you when to stop it. And then I'm going to give you some reflection questions, and then we're going to take it from there. And I'm ready for the video.
Dr. Angela?
Yes.
Okay, yeah, I think I got booted out the session. I apologize, everyone. Are we all here? Where did I leave you guys off at? I'm sorry.
Right now I'm just looking at myself on the screen, so the video isn't up. I don't see anything on my end but myself, and then
Okay.
you guys on the side as
Ready for the
co-hosts.
video, Tiffany. She's ready for the video to play.
Okay.
Yes, there we go.
It won't play. Give me one moment, everyone.
And while we're waiting, while Tiffany is pulling up the link to access the video, I'll do a little setup, and that it is a 15-minute TED Talk, but I really just got the first 5 minutes of it that I wanted to use as my launching pad into the conversation around Black women and imposter syndrome and the myth of the superwoman or the strong Black woman paradox, and how that to me is part of the narrative that feeds into this imposter syndrome, but not in the way that the original authors of the imposter syndrome had designed it to be. And so if anyone is already familiar with the origin of the imposter syndrome, it was back in the 70s, I think 1978, where it were two white women who were doing research, and the research that they did not, of course, include a sample of Black women or any minority woman, as far as I know, that the majority of, okay, I need to find the link for you. Okay. I'll skip it because I think I'll just have to talk through it because I think it's gonna be disrupted to the conversation. So I'll just skip the video because by the time I pull it up, I think it's gonna mess up the order of things. So
That's
I'm
great,
just
Dr. Clack. Go forward.
So basically in the video, there's a Black woman who's sharing her narrative and sharing her story around the experience of being told that do more, and do more. So she was saying how she is an accomplished woman, I think she had just earned her PhD. And she was sharing at some point how things seemed to be overwhelming. She was a parent. She was taking care of other responsibility. It just became too much. And then the message she got from her community was that push through. You can do this. You know, this is what Black women do. Just push through. And often that is the information that and messages that we get from our community and from people who aren't of our ethnicity or race, is that you can do this. We expect more from you. And then the message we internalize is that we're supposed to do it all. The message we internalize is that you have to work harder and almost twice or 3 times as hard to push through. So one of the things that I wanted to show in the video was that I wanted you guys to sit with her words. I wanted you to feel her energy. I'm an embodied trauma therapist. So when I work with people with trauma, I use the body because the body keeps score. The body is what is the container of everything that we go through. And so she was sharing that she also developed a mental health issue, a mental health disorder as a result of the stress and some other things she was going through. So here she is seeing and trying to hold 2 ideas. I'm this accomplished, strong Black woman, and yet I have a mental health issue. And so we proceeded to go into her story, but the message I want you to sit with is this whole thing about pushing through and pushing through. So we can still go to the reflection questions. I'll just skip the video, Tiffany. Thank you. Okay, so when you watch the video, and we will find it and we'll make sure you get the link because it's really easy. It is a TED Talk, so it's easy to find on YouTube. But these are the questions she asked herself. The first 2 of the questions she asked herself in the video. So I want you to imagine, if you can, just by the short narrative I shared with you, why she asked herself, why did my Blackness make me stronger in their eyes? And what she meant was that by that was the message that strong Black women can do it all. Oh, just push through, you can do it. And so she had the question like, well, why does my Blackness, why does me being a strong Black woman, or why does my Blackness being strong, being Black, make me feel like I can do it all and push through? And then she says, why is that trait exemplified over the others? So I'm intelligent, I'm a mother, I have all these roles, I'm an accomplished professor or author. But why did my Blackness become exemplified over all of that? What is the message we're sending, and what is the message we internalize as Black women about pushing through in spite of, pushing through with, pushing through even if, right? And then my questions that I wanted to ask you is, how do you cope with stress? How did you see the women in your life cope with stress? And I'll tell you the reason why I asked that question is much of what we go through as Black women in terms of carrying these messages about being strong are intergenerational, right? So they get passed through generational stories, generational storytellings, or even what we see our mom did, big mama did, and grandma did. And then by the end of this conversation, the one thing I want you to reflect on is, have you found your superpower or your genius? If you haven't, I want you to walk away with the idea that that's where I'm going next in my path. If you have, I am curious to hear, how did you do that? And what are you doing to support that space, that superpower that you have, so that you don't find yourself comparing yourself to your competition, whether it's real or perceived competition, and the other isms that I'm going to introduce coming up. So I'm going to leave this this set of questions with you. I want you to think about them as I go through the following slides. We're going to come back, and that's where I want to hear everything that you have about your superpower, your genius, your source of stress, how you cope, where you learned that from, and what is this thing about this Black woman superpower syndrome, and why I believe that the imposter syndrome is not the best label ever for us. I'm ready for the next slide. So what is imposter syndrome? So if you've already seen this it's probably been talked about again in so many circles where sister circles or women are getting together, or Black women. But if not, I wanted to give you the definition. So it is the experience of feeling like a fraud, downplaying your accomplishments, and always being concerned about being exposed as incompetent or incapable. So I have degrees, I may work in corporate, or may I be a manager or a supervisor. I've earned my way there. I have degrees, I have certificates, I have promotion, I have things that says I'm right where I'm supposed to be, but my thoughts and my behaviors and the internal discomfort says, maybe someone made a mistake. Maybe you got this job by default because someone else didn't show up for the interview. It makes you second guess and disqualify yourself from being where you need to be. So we hear a lot when we talk about Black women in corporate or Black women anywhere. Often we are the one, sometimes in spaces, the only one, and we often feel like we're representing all Black women in white spaces. And so we have this saying, or we know that people are talking about, if you don't have a seat at the table, create your own table. Or if there's not a seat at the table, you bring your own chair. So all of those notions are, you may not look like you belong there because of the color of your skin, or maybe it's your gender and the color of your skin, and you don't feel welcome in that space, then you create a space that you would feel more welcome in. Well, the imposter syndrome makes you feel like you don't belong there. These are the things that show up as signs of being an imposter, quote unquote. You are a high achieving or high performing professional woman. You desire to be special or the best. You deny your ability and your attributes to, it was luck. People say, congratulations on that. I don't, wasn't my hard work. I think I just kind of got by luck, happenstance. They didn't have anybody else. You really minimize your level of success and your hard work. You discount praise, feeling fear and guilt about your success. So that's when people say, man, congratulations, you did well. And then you start to feel guilty about being where you are when you really have done the work to get there. You feel failure and be discovered as a fraud. So this notion of feeling like, I don't belong here. How did I get here? And this is where I go to the lived experiences of Black women make us disqualified from this imposter syndrome. Because being in all white spaces, or where we are a minority and have been, doesn't give us much to stand on in terms of confidence that we belong here, whether it's looks, whether it's microaggressions, whether it's micro assaults, whether it's direct conversations that people are having about us or around us, right? So it says, you're making me feel uncomfortable and unwelcome. So is this imposter syndrome, or this is real? This is real. You don't think I belong here. You don't think that the promotion was well-deserved. So not only do you think that, now I'm starting to internalize how you see me. To me, that's imposter syndrome, not the original way that imposter syndrome was coined. And by the way, another reason why I really don't buy into this is because I feel like often Black women are being conditioned to accept the narratives that were never made for us. They're narratives that fit the white woman, the narratives that fit a white woman in white America, and not the Black woman in white America. That is my soapbox, and I will move on. Okay. And then imposter syndrome, you have anxiety, there's self-esteem, or you don't feel like you're worthy of particular things. Depression, frustration from internal. So this is us internally feeling this. It isn't necessarily that anybody's putting anything on us. We internalize and feel like a fraud. We internalize the then subsequent and consequent feelings of depression and anxiety and frustration. I'm ready for the next slide. So now that we have the definition, this is so I am coming up with my own theory. So my practice is high functioning, high performing in all Black women. I work with women, but my primary practice and private practice is Black women from age 20 up to about 65. And over the last 20 years of doing therapy, I'm starting to see patterns, and I'm starting to see what comes up for Black women. Again, which is why I want to be the face for Black women who come into therapy. I want women to have a place to feel safe, to talk about imposter syndrome, because this is an internal struggle that many women do not talk about. Because where are they going to go? who's going to get this? Who's going to understand this? So when you walk away, if this is you, I want you to know that you're not alone, that there are people who are thinking about it and researching it from the narrative of the Black woman experience. So when it comes to imposter syndrome, what I think happens, what does it breed? The spirit of competition, not only for people who are above us or people who are lateral because they are white women, but sometimes it sets up competition with other Black women who may be in the same position. And we never want that to be the way that we work with our sisters. If it's just me and you, and there are 200 white people in here, we have to figure out how we support each other. But that imposter syndrome could set up a conflict between me and my sister. So the other thing it does is comparison. How many of us go on social media and the world looks like everybody got it going on but us? Oh, how'd she get that? How was she doing that? Wow, she's doing this. That. Again, we start to compare ourselves and our narrative to somebody else. And one of the things that I'm careful about is you don't know what it took for me to get to where I am. So what you might see are 10 years of me building a business, but what you see is the 10th year of me succeeding and success. But you are now comparing your beginning with my end. And so that to me can breed in the rest of these. Perfectionism. I'm not good enough. This needs to be perfect or it won't be accepted, which goes into approval. I want to be approved. I want to be liked on this job. And so it takes me to a whole nother mental space. Rumination. I start to think about this over and over and over again. I'm thinking about the same messages, the same kind of looks that I got from people who don't look like me, conversations that are happening on the job. So I'm now going into this place of anxiety where I'm thinking more and more about things. Procrastinate. Okay, I think someone's unmiked. Okay. Then it goes, all of these will go into procrastination, distraction. So I got my isms and then procrastination, distraction. All of this comes from me shopping in spaces where I'm told or I feel I don't belong. I may have the same degree. I may have a higher degree than you. I may be supervising you, but somehow I'm made to feel, and I feel like I don't belong. All of these things have negative consequences on our health. What are those things? Burnout. Burnout is the number one thing that I get from women who are going through this. Burnout, depression, anxiety, frustration. And you know what this leads to? Physical health complications. Now it's my stomach hurts. I have migraines. This then goes from mental to physical conditions. Now it's affecting your productivity. And now you may find yourself calling out. Now you're finding yourself sitting before your boss. Hey, what's going on? Right? So all of these are things that we can work on. These are things that once you are self-aware, you say, I can do this. I have to start believing in myself and stop listening to the voices in my head that says, I don't belong here. Okay, I'm ready for the next slide. And good morning to everyone who's coming on now, if I missed you earlier. So this is the final slide, because one of the things I want people to walk away with, again, I said, I could probably have this discussion about imposter syndrome for another 4 hours. I could just really go in a lot of directions with this, but I wanted to keep it concise because at least I want you to walk away with knowing, is this me? Do I see myself in this? Maybe my friends in this, maybe I have coworkers or colleagues in this. So then, okay, Dr. Clack, now that I know what it is, what do I do with this? It is not something that I find easily to overcome. But one of the things, the number one thing is own your greatness, right? Own your genius, but it's only going to come if you step into that space. Because remember, in spaces where Black women are, there's not a lot of praise for our work. There's not a lot of accolades. There's not a lot of pushing. Remember in the beginning, the video was you're expected to push through. One of the things I hear a lot of Black women say when they work in areas where they are one or few is the pressure to feel like I have to do more and I have to be better because I represent our culture. I represent our race. Can you imagine the tremendous weight that is? Because if you feel like you make a mistake or you feel like you're in a place where you sabotage your success, you now feel like you've let down your whole race. That's big. That's huge. And that is way too much for one person to think that they can do. Okay. So your greatness and your genius is up to you. Daily set intentions when you wake up. One of the things that when I do catch wake up everybody is all of the work around the body, all of the work around releasing and setting up and bringing in affirmation. That is powerful. That's how you start your morning. Because if you know you get ready to walk into territory where you have not felt very welcome, you have to be able to step into that space for yourself. You driving into work, you got that music on, whether it's praise music, affirmation music, you're talking to yourself. You are setting yourself up for your day. Self-sabotage is the enemy of vulnerability and authenticity. One of the hardest words I can get women to say, Black women, is vulnerability. Seeking therapy can feel very risky, but it is indeed a critical and necessary path, I think, for everybody. Vulnerability and authenticity are strengths, but for generations, we've only seen them as weaknesses. Many wear the badge of the strong Black woman with honor, but it will stand in the way of your seeking help because you will not think you need help. You will not think that as Black women, we're supposed to be in a space where we have to ask for help. You know, we do that. I need help, I need help, I need help. And then someone comes to help and you're like, never mind, I'll just do it myself. Oh my gosh, I think I talk about myself right now. I will do that in a minute when I ask for help. And it's not the way I want it, but it is help. I have to learn how to ask for the help that I need and be very specific and get the heck out the way, right? If someone wants to help me, I gotta be able to accept help. All right, all of this is about self-care. My conversation is to increase your level of self-awareness. So as you go forth, so when we know better, we do better, right? Strength is not synonymous with struggle. The strength is actually in seeking support. It's time to take off the cape and to ask for help and also to receive help. And then how do you do this? You want to grow into your authenticity. Well, how do I do that? Through introspection, through reflection. That's through journaling. I'm a huge journaler. That's through quiet time and sitting alone, meditation. It could be a walking meditation. That's therapy. That's this platform. That's this community. Community is so important. Therapy comes in many forms. So maybe it's music therapy. It could be in form of art therapy. It could be talk therapy. It could be body therapy, trauma-informed yoga. There are so many ways that we treat the mind and body. All of this is because if we don't address the imposter syndrome, quote unquote, remember that's not my thing. If we don't address that, at least we know the dynamics are true. So whether I am asserting, because I am, that the imposter syndrome is an inappropriate label for Black women because of our racialized lived experiences, the dynamics are still there. All of these dynamics are true. So we still have to work on that part, whether we call it imposter syndrome or other things. We still, as Black women, we have to take care of our mental and physical wellness. That ends, because we are at the 7:30 mark, so I want to stop. That ends my portion in terms of the lecture. If there are questions, I am ready, or comments.
Yes, Dr. Angela, there are many, many questions.
Okay.
So what I'm going to encourage is that we see some digital hands go up, and then we can call on people to bring their voice into the space so that you can have dialogue with them. So I see one hand up. I see Teresa's hand up and then Z's hand up. So Teresa, can you join us in the space, please?
Yes. Hi. Good morning, Dr. Angela.
Good morning.
Thank you so much for this beautiful conversation. I feel like I'm stuck. That's what I've been stuck a lot of times. Like I can get started and I write down and all that stuff, but it's like sometimes I'm not consistent. So just trying to figure out a way, like how to be consistent. I mean, I will ask for help, but I just feel like I know I'm supposed to do some really great things. I know, like I know what to do, but it's like I cannot follow through. And it's like I feel like I'm just self-sabotaging myself, when it comes to stuff like this, and it's just challenging sometimes.
Yeah. So
I'm just trying to figure out, like what can I stop that? Because
I think that's a great question. And here's why I'll answer, because I think it is not only your question and your dilemma, I think you're speaking for many people. There have been patterns in my life when I've been more consistent and less consistent. I often have to figure out where my energy is. Am I better in the morning? Am I better in the afternoon? Or am I better at night? Once I figured that out, that's when I put those things that I need to be most consistent with there. So if I know that during the day, I see a lot of clients, then anything I need to do in terms of my self-care better happen in the morning, because I'm going to push it down and then likely it ain't going to happen. So if I'm going to do discipleship, devotions, journaling, my to-do list for the day, any self-care, my meditation, I'm going to make sure that is in the morning. Do I do it 7 days a week? Nope. Do I do it 5 days a week? Nope. Do I get in 3 days a week? That's my goal. And I'm okay with that, because I don't think anyone has to force themselves to do something every day, all the time, at the same time. So pick where your energy is best. Put those things that you want most consistently there. I am also a list writer. And so I'm visual. So I will put stickies in places to help me remember things, and they will be really colorful, or I'll do a vision page. So I surround myself with things to remind me what I want to do most consistently. Now that works for me. If any parts of that work for you, grab that, put that in your pocket and go with it.
Thank you very much. I appreciate that.
You're very welcome.
The stickers will be in my face all the time, so I'm definitely gonna get my stickers out right.
Yes. Yes.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Okay, Dr. Angela, thank you. Our next hand was from Z.
Good morning, Z.
Good morning. Yes, Teresa definitely spoke for me, and I'm guessing a whole lot of other people in terms of self-sabotage and the lack of consistency. For me, I also have the added challenge of complete disconnection with time and space.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not sure when and how it happened, but I lose track of time so easily. Like this month is gone. It's now June 1st, and I'm still reconciling that we're in a new year. And we're almost halfway through it already. So yeah, this is a huge problem for me. I have a couple of things I want to say before I forget to say them. First is, you've said that this is a long topic, in-depth topic that you could go into. I'm going to respectfully request that you consider coming back for part 2, maybe even part 3. We have that here. People come back. What they got, it takes more than the time they have. They come back.
Okay.
So please consider that.
I will.
The other question is, where do you practice? Because I have been searching desperately for a therapist who can relate to my challenges. Yes. And I think I found you.
Okay. So here, let me, this is where I feel a little sad, because when I come to communities that have global impact, my reach is small, not because I want it to be, but because of licensing. So whenever you're looking for a therapist, and this is for everybody, whenever you're looking for a therapist, the therapist has to be licensed where you reside. So where your feet are, that therapist has to be there. The therapist can work from anywhere she wants to. I am licensed in New Jersey and Pennsylvania. So if you're in those states, I can help you. I have tried to get licensed in New York. That has been quite an arduous task, and I will still work on that one, because that's how I met Shawty. And I've met so many great people in New York. So I can't do New York yet until I get licensed in New York.
Okay. All right. Thank you.
You're welcome.
So how can you help me right now? Are you able to, like, is there any way that you're able to help people who don't live in the states that you're licensed in, like, can just like, I don't know, can you explore ways that you can help people who aren't?
Z,
Thank you.
hi, hey Z.
Yes.
We're gonna be dropping Dr. Clack's information, and what she may be able to do is she may have referrals that she can give out for people, colleagues in other people's areas, because everybody who is in the space is not in New York. We're all across. There's coming in from Texas, Georgia, North Carolina, you know, we're all over. So she may be able to, within her network, be able to give some referrals. And then you can just, once we drop her information, you can follow up with her there.
That works. Thank you.
I certainly will.
I am complete. Thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you for your question.
Yes, Z's always good to come in with a thought-provoking question. I'm looking for some more hands. If anyone else had a question or something that Dr. Clack shared that that resonated with them.
Renee had her hand up.
Renee?
Hey, y'all.
Good morning.
Two things. My name is Atorius Renee, and I'm a non-binary person. I'm a they, them pronouns. Cool. I've been meaning to say that, but I get nervous, you know? Okay. I am still essentially topless, so I'm not going to turn my camera on.
Okay.
But what I am thinking about this morning is the consequences of burnout. Because, like, not for nothing, I am exceptional. And like, this sounds, to me, it sounds arrogant to say, but like, I am the first in my family to do lots of things. And I grew up in a predominantly white town, so I have always lived the token life because they would extract me from my peers that look like me because I didn't talk like them. And now that I am approaching 30, feels like grand big age to me. Now that I'm approaching 30 and I've finished my schooling for a while, I'm going to take a break before I go get my PhD. I feel like I'm entering this space of adulthood where I feel unqualified to do the things that I have been working on my entire life. And I largely think it's mostly burnout because I have been working this hard, especially in academia, for like the past decade. And I'm like, cool. Somebody pay me to do my job, but also don't look at me. And I hate this feeling. I hate this so much. More of my questions is like, how do you challenge imposter syndrome in real time? How do you challenge imposter syndrome afterwards? And how does one recover? How does one recover from this insidious thought?
So in a very concise way because of time, and then I will accept Z's offer to come back and go deeper. So I'm going to reframe that because I don't even buy into it. So that's number one. So in terms of, I'm not going to look at it as a challenge. So first of all is I'm always working on language with my clients. So if it's something is a challenge, I want them to identify what are the parts, break that down. What is challenging about the parts, the dynamics of imposter syndrome that are personal to you? That's my first question. And then we work on those parts because this is me. I don't even want to embrace anyone embracing the notion that this imposter syndrome is true for all Black women. And I don't think it's true for any Black woman, but because I went back and looked at the study, it just doesn't make sense to me. But in any case, the dynamics are true. But you spoke about burnout, and here's what I would say. Burnout is from overwhelm. And burnout is from doing a lot of things and trying to do and achieve at a level of either these unrealistic expectations are put upon you or that we put upon ourselves. The way that you address burnout, unfortunately, if it's gone for many years and it's starting to affect your body, is to step back, step down, and step away from some things. So that means I have to say more no's to things that I would say yes to. Now, I'm not saying anyone quit their job because I don't want anyone to feel like they can't take care of themselves. That's not what I'm saying. But a lot of times we take on a lot of other things because we feel obligated and indebted to somebody or something. That's an internal process that really could be worked through in therapy to figure out why we feel like that. And then you can work your way back. The therapist can help you work your way back from that to figure out, then why do I feel like I have to help everybody? Why do I not say no to things? Do I have trouble setting boundaries? So see how this can kind of, it's like a pebble in the lake. It can just start to trick. The rings get bigger and bigger and bigger. I said I was gonna make it concise, but that was pretty long.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Listen, everybody got a gem out of what you said. Mine was that burnout stems from being overwhelmed. As I shared with you in pre-session, I did 2 wake up episodes on imposter syndrome. And I do believe in imposter syndrome, but I'm open to listening to how you're explaining it and thinking about how the different frame looks at, if I look at it with a different frame, is it really imposter syndrome, or is it me trying to be in an environment that wasn't set up for me in the first place? So I appreciate, the difference of opinion here.
I'm still working on fleshing out. And when I get my paper written, I will have your contact information because I want people to know why I think the way that I do. I was in a group not long ago, and the room on Clubhouse, which is another platform. And when I brought this up, of course, the people who are the coaches, because they really, imposter syndrome is a huge coaching concept. We had a lively discourse. I'll say it that way. But I learned from them, and I hope that they learn from me too, that we can share perspectives and not agree. And professionally, we could do that.
Yes, thank you. Do we have any more hands up? Anyone else willing to share? Because Dr. Angela's information is ready.
Can I say thank you?
Adam's hand is up.
Oh, okay. Go ahead.
Thank you, Adam. Come on into the space. Where'd you go?
Okay. Good morning, Dr. Angela.
Good morning.
Thanks for sharing this imposter syndrome and the concept of it. The question that I want to ask is how much does Hollywood and the music play in part into why a lot of Black women are each other's necks in the community or at the workplace or whatnot?
Yeah. I think that is a broader thing in it. I think the images and the portrayals and perceptions, whether it's our perceptions, our self-perceptions comparing ourselves, or if it's the perception of bigger Hollywood and celebrity media statuses. I think that plays into a lot of the comparison and the competition parts of what I said kind of breeds this whole imposter syndrome. I think it's broader than that because I think it affects almost all women. This whole social media and the exposure to this and the need to feel, because remember, not everybody understands that what you see is not always real. How they take pictures in front of places that really they don't own or cars they don't like. All of that media hype is what people want. They want it's entertainment, edutainment, entertainment, whatever. And I think it's up to us to even teach our younger girls and boys too, but I think we're talking about women, younger girls, about how to be more discerning about what you see and what's important for you in terms of emulating. Like, are we emulating the Black women who are showing up as teachers and educators and lawyers and other professions that don't glamorize necessarily being Black women? So I think that's a broader topic. That's a whole nother topic, but I do think that there is impact from images, period. Images have lots of impact on our perception of ourselves. Absolutely.
Yeah. Cool.
Particularly when we don't have a strong sense of self. Many women that I work with will describe themselves as broken. Another word that I'm really working on women massaging that, but that's how they kind of describe themselves as broken, which to me is a really low sense or no sense of self that women have been robbed of from a lot of different abuses. And when you don't have an identity, you will latch on to another person's identity. So we kind of live in this fantasy world when you see that kind of celebrity status and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah. But thank you. That's an awesome question. That's
You're
another
welcome.
topic you put on your list. Someone can come talk about that because that's big. That's big.
Thank you, Dr. Angela. I was looking for, and please forgive me if I'm pronouncing it wrong, Tanine Harmony. Is she still in the space? She was sharing some really interesting and deep thoughts, and we wanted to invite her to bring her voice into the space, but I'm not seeing her right now.
She had to leave.
I thought I saw her leave. Yeah, she excused herself. She did.
Okay, all right. I'm sorry about that. Really was trying to get her into the space. So we're gonna definitely make sure when you come back for part 2 of this conversation, we let her know, and she's definitely one of the voices that we have come into the conversation. Are you ready for me to share your contact information with the community?
I am, and let me say that I want to thank you for allowing me to hold space for your community today. That I hope that something that I've shared is just to plant a seed, or maybe to get people to think, to have more deeper conversations around this. I'm probably not the only one to think about this in this way, but maybe I'm one of many that have other ways that they're reframing the experience of imposter syndrome. So I just want to thank you again for the space, and thank you to my sister Shawnee for the invitation.
Love having you here this morning. So here we go. Coach Cheryl has dropped the information. I want to copy and paste it. And here it is on the screen for you to take a screenshot if you need to. So we have Dr. Clack. She has her website is www.clackassociates.com. Her telephone number 856-875-5335. And of course, you can email her at admin@clackassociates.com.
And Tiffany, I do a lot of engagement on social media. So if that's another form, so I do mental health talks all the time, talking about different things from the community in terms of mental health. So you can find me on Facebook and IG as well.
Okay, so what I'll do is, as I'm going through the closing slides, you can type in your Facebook and your IG, your social media handles, and then you'll get a whole bunch of new followers today, I promise you.
Amen to that. I'm all right with that.
All right. All right, everybody, this is love offerings and donations. They're now set up automatically using the bit.ly links, either Woo Love 25, Woo Love 50, Woo Love 75, or Woo Love 100. You can automatically make your donations into the Woo community without a second thought. So please copy and paste the links, use them so that you can set up your payments if you have not done so automatically. As Shawnee says, money is my own energy yield. So give it, get it, receive it. It goes round and round. Tomorrow, for Thursday, June 2nd, we have, same person I was just looking for, Tanine Harmony. She will be facilitating on Anchored by Alignment. So please, everybody, come back tomorrow and join us for this juicy dialogue. If today is your first day in session with us, we want to welcome you to the Woo community. Please drop it in the chat. Let us know that you're here. We want to continue to invite you to join us in this community where we come to learn, elevate, and ascend. This is our Wake Up Everybody virtual schedule. We're live on Zoom and Facebook 5 days a week, Sundays, Tuesdays, and Thursdays from 7 a.m. to 8:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, and Mondays and Wednesdays from 7 a.m. to 7:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. If you would like a notification reminder when it's time to join us on one of these platforms, please text the word Woo Nation in cap locks to 74121. It is always gift giving season, and the perfect place to shop is the bit.ly/Woo Swag shop. Make sure you get your merch, rep your community, and share in the message. Thank you, everyone. Here's how you stay in touch with us. Register weekly at bit.ly/Wake Up Movement so that you can see which facilitators are coming up and what the topics of conversation will be. Join us on Facebook in our private group at bit.ly/Woo Community or on our public page, bit.ly/Woo Nation. Follow us on Instagram at Wake Up Everybody Virtual. Catch our clips on YouTube at bit.ly/Woo on YouTube. And you can always email us at info.wakeupseries@gmail.com with questions, comments, and interests if you want to be a facilitator or an admin. At this time, I'm asking all the participants left in the space to come off of mute and rain a verbal love shower on Dr. Angela Clack for sharing her message with us
Thank
today.
you.
Thank you.
Dr. Angela.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you,
Thank
thank you,
you,
thank you, thank you,
Dr.
thank you,
Thank you
thank
very
you.
much.
Thank you,
Awesome,
thank you.
awesome.
Thank you.
Very
Appreciate
good.
it.
I'm looking forward to part 2. Thank
Amen.
you.
You're
Yeah.
welcome.
Glad
The
to
Holy
have
Spirit,
shared
thank you,
space with
sister.
you
Great.
this
This was
morning.
excellent. Please fill me
Yes,
to
thank
give.
you.
Thank
It was
you.
excellent,
Thank you.
It's
excellent,
great. It's
excellent,
imposter
excellent. Thank you
syndrome.
so much.
Look for
Love
the
y'all.
YouTube link to
Blessed
be
day.
dropped in the
Yes,
Facebook later.
yes, this was excellent. Thank y'all so much.
Yes.
Great session. Hey,
Thank
family, love
you.
seeing some of y'all. Peace and
Yes,
blessings.
glad to have
That's